I'm Carolyn Pemberton. I'm the Senior Program Manager for Workplace Savings at America Saves, and I'm pleased to welcome everyone today for the second in our series of Financial Wellness in the Workplace webinars. Today's topic is how to help your employees save automatically in 5 easy steps. We have a lineup of speakers who will provide insights and information specifically related to the America Saves Split to Save program. Joining me today are Samantha Melting, Senior Vice President and Head of Consumer Bank with Synchrony Bank, and Kia Young, Communications Manager with America Saves. So today's program is an opportunity for us to have a conversation, giving you, our participants, the chance to engage with our speakers and each other. So we invite and encourage you to use the Q&A function to pose a question, make a comment at any time during the presentations. We will also have time at the end for any additional questions that you might have. So for almost 20 years, America Saves has been encouraging and supporting individuals in saving money. Throughout this time, the workforce has been a primary focus of these efforts. America Saves has long believed that employers can play a very positive role in the financial lives of their employees. Surveys show that employees trust and look to their employers to help them with financial issues in their lives. They consider their employers a trusted source of safe and reliable products and tools to help themselves strengthen their financial lives. Encouraging automatic saving through the workplace is one of the most effective strategies to help Americans reduce their debt and build wealth. It provides a rich opportunity to reach individuals with messages about the importance of saving and the ease of saving automatically. Thousands of employers engage with America Saves, particularly during America Saves Week, to motivate and encourage automatic savings. Still, though, not enough individuals are saving automatically. So America Saves has developed an easy solution to help more employers encourage their employees to save automatically using split deposit. With the vast majority of workers getting paid with direct deposit, the foundation is there for individuals to save every time they get paid, to pay themselves first. And today, with the current pandemic situation, we're seeing the results firsthand of individuals not having emergency savings to rely on. This is an extreme situation, and it really has shown us the need to help individuals save automatically and save more. So this really is an incredible opportunity for us all to help individuals realize that they can think and act like a saver. So I'm pleased today to have Samantha Melting with us, who's going to share the story of Synchrony's use of Split to Save in their workforce. Samantha is the Senior Vice President and Head of Consumer Bank with Synchrony. Her focus and her passion are on delivering competitive deposit solutions that can help consumers achieve financial wellness through transformative, innovative, and practical approaches. She has over 26 years of experience in the financial services and is an esteemed colleague of America Saves. And so with that, Samantha, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Great. Thanks, Carolyn. I'm excited about this topic because it's important to talk about how employers can play a really positive role in the financial wellness for their employees. And oftentimes what I would hear from HR in my past experience is, why aren't more employees saving toward their 401k or saving toward retirement? And often my response would be, well, many of these employees would love to do that, but they're also struggling with the day-to-day. They're not even saving for an emergency fund. And that's such an important part of financial wellness that we need to be addressing that piece as well. And so that's actually something that we started to do in February with America Saves Week, where we decided we can't just talk about long-term saving and the benefits through 401ks, that we actually have to give our employees the tools to be successful in the short term and to be able to save for shorter term goals like an emergency fund or a down payment for a home or whatever the case would be, but something in the short term. And so America Saves Week was a great way for us to kick off this initiative. And we did it with a lot of really fun and very engaging style communications and tools. for employees. And so I'll talk a moment about how we did that, but I want to step back for a second and just talk a little bit high level about why Split to Save is such an important component of this plan. So many employers are offering direct deposit today. It's often one of the things that is set up for a new hire that is just part of the process. Set up your direct deposit so we can get your paycheck into your checking account. And the majority of the time it is into their checking account. And I'm surprised by how often I hear from employees that, hey, I didn't know I could actually create a split where some of my direct deposit goes into checking and another portion of my direct deposit can go into a different account. And you can do that. And it's actually really easy. You can do it at the same time that you're setting up your direct deposit, and you can change it later on if you've already set up your direct deposit. And today, more than ever, it is so easy to make changes to direct deposit. And so what I love about it is it really gets to the core of sound financial behavior, and that is paying yourself first and saving in an automatic way. Once you do that, you start to establish that behavior, and it's so easy because you set it and you forget it. And so those were the themes that we promoted throughout America Saves Week about how easy it is, why it's important to pay yourself first, why it's important to set savings goals and make that commitment. And you can do it so easily by having it done automatically when your paycheck is being direct deposited between your checking and your savings accounts. And it can be more than one savings account too. There's so much flexibility in this option, which I love. So the ways that we did promote this was we had a daily newsletter with links to all the places that the employees would need to go to set up their direct deposit or to open a savings account with Synchrony, where we're offering a higher savings rate for employees. We also had desk drops, laminated cards that we left with employees. And because it was America Saves Week, we were focusing each theme on the day. So the America Saves Week theme. But we would always have this constant reminder around Split to Save. We also had screensavers that promoted the theme of the day. And we did on-site events and signage throughout each of our sites. I even had the chance to visit 2 of our sites where I could talk to employees about, did you make the pledge? What is your goal? How can I help you? Did you set up Split to Save? And let me show you how you access all the information that you need to do that. And it was a very successful event because for many employees, it had been a long time since they've been through new hire training. And so they needed the reminder, the refreshers. For others, they just didn't think it was that important at the time, but now they realize it's important and how easy it is. And direct deposit is easy to begin with, right? Usually the selling points with direct deposit are you don't have to take a check and take it to your banking center to cash it or figure out where you're going to cash that check. It just is there. You wake up on the day you're paid and it's in your account. The same thing with the savings account. And so I'm really excited about what we were able to achieve. We do have more employees that have set up Split to Save, which is fantastic. And even beyond America Saves Week, we have had reminders throughout the year. We will actually kick off another event in the 4th quarter, a little bit more than just the reminders that we send out every month, which will be exciting because there are some employees who probably just need a little kick in the pants to get started, or a little motivation to keep them going, or to reset where their goals were and to be able to get back on track. So I'm excited about this. I think it's great. I personally benefit from Split to Save. Has made certainly my life easy and has helped me to achieve some goals in very easy and automatic ways.
Great. Well, thank you, Samantha, very much for sharing that story with us of how Synchrony has used it. We really appreciate that. And we'll look forward to seeing what you do in the 4th quarter as well. So now I'm going to take a few minutes and talk specifically about the 5 steps involved in starting to use Save in your workforce. I'm going to share my screen so that I can share some of the computer or the website pages that you will want to take note of. And Kia, can I get, okay, thank you, perfect. All right. Oops. Okay. So, let's go. Okay, oops. Didn't mean to do that, sorry. Clicking the wrong buttons here. Okay, so let's start. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of Split to Save. Samantha gave you a great insight into it, but let me just give you a little bit of background on Split to Save, and then I'll dive into the 5 steps. So it is a free online tool that can help you, the employer, deliver messages about the importance of saving automatically and how effective and easy it is to do through split deposit. The program is built on the foundation of direct deposit, as Samantha mentioned, because it provides an easy and elegant mechanism to help workers save automatically. So let me show you the employee experience so you can see what they will go through in order to participate. So this is a sample page of what it would look like with your company name would appear here, or whatever name you give to your link. And employees, the first thing that they do is they watch a video. It's a little bit more than a minute long. It takes a conversation between these two employees. The young lady has to borrow money from the young man because she has a car repair and doesn't have enough money in her savings account, or any money in her savings account, to pay for it. And while he willingly lends her the money, his message is, you need to start saving automatically through Split to Save. Then the next step is to take the America Saves pledge. And so what the employee will do is they will complete this page. They list their name. They indicate what their goal that they want to save for, and this is the drop-down menu that they can choose from. They indicate how much money they want to save each month, and then how many months they want to save for, putting in a number between 1 and 24. Then they tell us how often they get paid. And then here, they will see how much money they will save at the end of the pledge period and how much they will need to save per paycheck. They will give us their email address. If they would like to receive text messages, they give us their phone number. And then at the very bottom, they answer 2 questions about savings and checking account ownership. They click submit. Oops, hold on, let me go over here. Sorry, thought I had this in the right order. There we go. And this is what they get next. This is their pledge certificate. And so it summarizes their name, their goal, how much they're saving for each month, what their total savings will be, and how much they need to save per paycheck. And then they are instructed to take their pledge information to their payroll department with their account and routing numbers so that they can have their split executed. And that's, in a nutshell, the employee experience. So for the employer, for you to get started, let me talk about those 5 steps. So employers will go to this sign-up page. Oh, and let me back up a minute here. I should emphasize that after employees complete the pledge, they are part of the America Saves community. And so then they will receive communications from America Saves. They will receive emails, text messages if they opted in, and a saver newsletter, all related to their particular goal, as well as some general savings information. We also encourage them to connect with us on social media. And we communicate with them until they tell us otherwise. So now let's go through the 5 steps for you as the employer. So this is the sign-up page. And here you just give us some information about your company or organization. Name, contact information, number of employees, industry, geographic location of your employees, and if you have employees around the country or the world, you can indicate that as well. So you provide this information, and then you will have the opportunity to provide some information about a partnering financial institution. So if you have a bank or credit union that you have a relationship with and want to provide information to your employees about that financial institution where they could open an account if they need it, you can do so. And if not, there will be general information provided from America Saves about how to find a safe and appropriate bank account. You can also customize your link with here we go. So you can also customize your program link with the other resources. So you can insert information on how employees can execute their split. So is there a payroll link, an online payroll link that they go to make changes to their payroll? Is there a phone number that they need to call, an office that they need to go visit? That information can be included. You can also provide information about other financial wellness benefits that you have, or resources, external resources as well, that you would like to share with your employees. Then we give you some information here on some sample hiring language that you can use to share Split to Save with new employees. You'll have the option here of reviewing this and copying and using anything that you would like. We also give you some information on incorporating Split to Save into your orientation or onboarding processes. Again, this is information that you can take note of and copy it and use it as appropriate. So at this point, you have completed the sign-up process. Within a couple of days, we will send you a confirmation and login credentials for administrative access to your link, and then emails with implementation information. If you choose not to customize your link when you sign up, using your login credentials, you can go back at any time and add, edit, change any information that you would like it related to your link. So after you've done the sign up and gotten your confirmation emails from us, we suggest that you decide on a specific date when you will officially begin to promote Split to Save to your employees. While this is an optional step, we recommend it. It helps to give focus to you in terms of promoting Split to Save to your employees. The third step is to decide what will be your measure of success. Is there a target enrollment rate that you would like to see among existing employees or among new employees? An enrollment rate is the easiest way to measure success because you can get that information directly from the Split to Save link. Oops. So on this page, you will be able to, on your results page, see your results. Move this over. So you can see employees pledged, dollars pledged, amount, average, top savings goals. And so this would be an easy place for you to get that enrollment rate information. Some employers measure productivity changes, which generally take longer to measure. You can use, whatever metric that best aligns with your organization's objectives. The fourth step is to incorporate Split to Save into your onboarding and orientation processes. I showed you earlier, we provide some sample information there. There are a couple of different approaches you can take. You can give employees time during an actual orientation session. As Samantha mentioned, when you're talking about payroll and direct deposit, it's an opportune time to mention Split to Save. So you can actually give employees a few minutes at that point to use their mobile device or a computer or tablet that you may have available to go through the 3 steps to actually enroll in Split to Save. Another option is to just provide information about Split to Save during orientation and encourage employees to sign up on their own time. We also suggest as another opportunity to follow up with new employees 30 or 60 days after they have started to remind them about Split to Save. And like Samantha was saying, sometimes employees take a little bit longer to try something new or need more than one exposure. So those reminders can be very effective with new employees. And the final step is to create a communications plan for Split to Save. And this is where Kia is going to talk to us about strategies that you might want to use. And I will just tell you that as communications manager with America Saves, Kia develops and implements the digital communication and engagement strategies, for all of our initiatives. She's an extremely talented and valuable member of our team. So I am going to stop sharing my screen and turn it over to Kia.
Thank you for that really nice introduction, Carolyn. Really quick before I hop into communication strategies, we did have a question from someone. They wanted to know if when you're signing up, the information on that they ask about financial institution is for the bank the employers use, one of those additional resources that they can, or one of those options that they have while signing up to put in that information. The question is, what happens if the employees use several different institutions or they don't use that particular bank? They're wanting to know, how do you put that information in there?
Well, that information is a resource that you can provide for your employees. If you think there are employees who may need bank accounts, who may not have one, and you want to provide some guidance on an institution that you feel comfortable with and know that they have safe and affordable products, you can provide that information to your employees. You don't have to, and because these are their personal accounts, they can choose accounts from whatever institution they want. This is really just a way for you to provide a little bit more guidance to those employees who might be looking for a bank account.
Awesome. And just a reminder, as I start to share my screen, that if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat, and we will be sure to answer them. And I will share my screen and then share some fun strategies for you guys. 1 second here. Share my screen. Gotta love technology, right? Okay. There we go. So communication strategies for getting Split to Save started in your organization. It is, Samantha even mentioned, like, when you have those employees who've been there for forever, you quit thinking about all those things that you did in the beginning to start and really just kind of get into an automatic, which is a good thing, automatic way of thinking when it comes to your money. But as you can tell, like, even this year with the pandemic, like, even my family, we've had to change some things up on how much money is going to savings, how much is going to other places. And we've changed accounts. We're a military family. So we end up changing banks a couple of times because we like to have some local. And so it's really important that we have a way to communicate with all of our employees regularly, right? And so we're not just putting it on that hiring process, because it's important to automatically save and to continue to have that conversation as long as they're employees with you. So I'm going to be sharing with you some strategies so that you can capture both that new hire and your tenured employee that has been around for a while. So I will just go to my next. So the first thing we want to do is really focus on employee outreach. Okay, so we're not talking necessarily about the employees in new hire. Like, that's definitely one place that we want to outreach, but there are several other ways to communicate with your employees. So We have newsletters and emails. I think Samantha mentioned that you have a monthly newsletter that goes out that you mentioned Split to Save and signing up for Split to Save. Open enrollment period. So even though Split to Save is a free program, it is definitely a benefit. And it should be framed as a benefit to your employees that they have someone or an employer who actually cares about their financial stability and their financial wellness. So it definitely should be a part of that open enrollment period, all on its own. If you have a company intranet or internal website, great place to add that information about Split to Save. If you have text messaging or even messages on their paycheck, I know my husband's LES that he gets every year or every month, they have a place where they can communicate, and we actually look at those. So that's a great place to remind your employees that that they should be saving automatically and split their deposits directly to go into a savings account. And then you kind of have some in-person ways that you can do it, such as a team meeting, announcements that when you're having announcements and reminders for other things, feel free to add in that reminder to Split to Save and split your deposit. And then if you are doing any company employee focused videos, you can add that in there. If you're doing forms and surveys, asking if they're already participating or if they would like to participate and including links. And then social communication. So if you have closed Facebook groups for your employees or Slack channels, I know America Saves, we love our Slack. And then a lot of people are starting to use Microsoft Teams. And so if you have those type of social communications platforms, that is a way that you can send a quick reminder to your employees. And you don't have to just stick to one of these. You can change it up. You can do all of these throughout the year. Whatever works best for your organization is what we suggest, but know that you have all these different options and ways that you can reach out to your employees. Next, you want to try some visual reminders. Okay, so Samantha talked about how Synchrony had posters up, and during America Saves Weekend, they had materials that they could hand out. So those visual reminders, think about the areas in your building that your employees hang out, where they frequent, and then place printed flyers, or if you have like digital displays, you can put reminders about Split to Save and Split Deposit right in those digital reminders. You think that we're not paying attention to those things, but they become kind of like subconsciously known, right? So because we look at them so much. So some places to consider around your organization: break rooms, restrooms. We're all washing our hands right now. If you have clock in, clock out stations. If you are in a warehouse where people are walking around a lot, decals on your floor could be an interesting reminder. QR codes that can be scanned are very popular, very easy to do. There's definitely an app for that, if y'all remember that, where you can create really quick QR codes and then have them placed so that your employees can scan those QR codes with their phone and be taken directly to more information to get them signed up for automatic and split deposit. If you have materials, if they're cubicles or desks, you can have materials that they can hang up there or that you can pass around. Again, digital displays, if you have coffee and water stations around your organization, and then if you just have hand washing stations around your organization, those are some great places to place those visual reminders. And then lastly, one thing that you can do is to build kind of an ambassador team. So success is a team effort, and it's not up to just one person to remind everyone of how important automatic savings is and how important it is to split your deposit and have part of your paycheck go directly into your savings account. So identify some people on your team that are responsible and kind of take ownership of starting these conversations, continuing these conversations, and even building a strategy using the strategies that we've just shared with you so that there's this continual conversation around financial wellness in your company or organization. So I am going to check to see if we have any questions.
We've got a couple that have popped up.
Okay, let's see what we got here. So is there a participation fee for the employer or employee? Carolyn, I'll let you answer that.
No, Split to Save is a free tool that we offer to all employers, regardless of size, because we just feel this is so important and such an easy way to help your employees. So no, there is no fee, and there isn't any fee for an employee to participate either. They just have to save the money in their account.
Really great. Mark wants to know if the information if this information will be available to us electronically after the meeting today. Absolutely. So you can always go to splittosave.org and we'll send that information out to everyone to learn more information and to sign up. Carolyn, is there anything that you want to add about making this available to everyone who's watching?
Sure. Just a reminder that the link for employers is splittosave.org. And so all of the details of the program are there. And you can see, the steps to go through to sign up and read some basic information about the program as well. And we can make the slides available to the participants. And, feel free to reach out. I can put my email address in the chat function, and you can always reach me by email. I'm happy to, respond to questions, set up a time to talk in more detail as it relates to your organization.
Perfect. And then someone wanted to know, could you confirm if it takes a couple of days for the employee to get confirmation once they've signed up? Like, what is that process? Is it a manual process of why it takes a couple of days to get confirmation that they're signed up?
So the couple of days confirmation, excuse me, I didn't clarify that, is for the employer. When the employer signs up to use Split to Save, America Saves will get back to them within 1 to 2 business days, confirming and providing them with their link. And then basically they're ready to get started at that point to communicate and provide the link to their employees. For the employee, as soon as they complete the pledge, they get their pledge certificate automatically, and then they will get an email from us pretty quickly confirming that. And the split happens as soon as they take the information to their payroll department and have their employer start to split their pay between 2 or more accounts.
Awesome. Well, it doesn't look like we have any more questions for now. I know that there are people watching on Facebook Live and will probably continue to watch. So if you have any questions there, I'll continue to monitor. Oh, we do have another question. Okay. Someone just asked, how is the banking information entered, used, and protected from cyber threats, which is a really great question.
So if they're talking about the bank information that the employer is providing, typically that's pretty general information. I don't know that there would be any sensitive or confidential information. You're really providing resources for your employees to look up or to go check out if they need an account. And the employee will be giving their bank and routing information to their employer. And I'm sure those systems are all secure, just like they do with their payroll, when they have their paycheck deposited.
And just to clarify on the pledge side, so America Saves and Split to Save does not collect any banking information from the employees whatsoever. So we do not have access to that information, never will. And we definitely have our own privacy policy as far as third party. We don't sell any email information or anything to any third parties. So there is no banking information being asked from us, from the program. It's only to your employer so that they can make that split deposit on their behalf. But that was a great question. So I'm sure you weren't the only person thinking it, Deb. So thanks for asking and allowing us to clarify. Another question we just had come in. If an employee cannot open a checking account due to check systems, can they open a savings account? What about online banks? Do they participate in split to save?
So the type of account that an employee can open is really, I don't believe there's any restriction. They can, if they want their pay to go all into a savings account, I don't think there's any issue with that from the employer's side. And yes, they can use an online bank as long as the online bank will accept the payroll deposit from their employer. And again, I don't think there's any issue with that. So really, the employee has a lot of control over where their money is going, what it's being used for, how long they're saving for. They, and Samantha mentioned, they can stop, change that split at any point in time. Of course, we don't want them to stop it ever once they start, but they can alter it if they want to increase it, if they want to change it and have it go to another bank or into a, start another one for a separate goal. So the employee has all of the control over how their split is used, when it's, used, and how they manage it. That is all in the employee's control.
Can I just add to that real quick that for most companies, that can all be done electronically.
Yeah.
I know with my company, it's all done online. It's actually paperless, so it's very easy. And typically the time frame is a pay period for the changes to be effective.
That's really good to know. And another thing that I wanted to clarify, because I know a lot of you are just hearing about this program for the first time, is that Split to Save is largely, we work directly with the employers. So it's not the banks that are participating in Split to Save. It is the actual employer who is participating in Split to Save, offering this as a program for their employees. So it's just an added benefit to the direct deposit that you're already doing. Just think of it as some extra resources, extra encouragement to keep them on a really great savings journey. So that's the big difference between, just regular direct deposit, is that Split to Save takes that communication a bit further, and it keeps them keeps encouraging them to save through split deposit and to save automatically, and support with whatever their goal is too while they're saving. So it's just added support for your employees.
I will just add that we had one employer who uses Split to Save survey their employees after the first year, and we found that 85% of them said that it had been very effective in helping them reach their savings goals. And all of those who had started their split had kept it going. They had not stopped it. So it is a very effective tool once an employee signs up for it. And begins to realize the ease at which they can then become a saver. And so it has proven to be, that simple of a strategy, but an extremely effective strategy.
Yeah, I'll just add two things to that too, just to reiterate what I said at the beginning, that it does allow the employees to show the employers to show their employees that they are committed to helping their employers achieve financial wellness, and this is one way to do it. Plus, when the employee does take the pledge, they are then, they have access to all of the educational resources available through America Saves. So there's a lot of great content on a variety of different financial topics, and there's motivation along the way to keep that employee going so that they can achieve their goal.
Really great, really great.
Yeah, very true.
Someone in the Q&A just said, Susie says she doesn't have a question, but wanted to share that she loves this program and that it's such a great idea. She teaches financial literacy education with family means, financial solutions, and they see so many people not saving or having issues right now with reduced income. So she loves the idea that there's this opportunity to give them this extra tool, extra resources to continue their financial wellness. So
nice.
Yeah, great to hear that people are enjoying the program and that it's effective as well. So and it looks like we don't have any other questions. Samantha, always so great to have you on.
Yes,
And
thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it and love the insights that you shared with us from Synchrony.
Thank you for having me. I love it.
And we will follow this up with more information for those of you who were registered to make sure that you get the links that you need so that you can sign up for Split to Save very soon. Carolyn, do you have anything you want to add before we're done?
Keep watching for the next in our series of wellness in the workplace, financial wellness in the workplace. We'll let you know what the next topic is. And as always, feel free to reach out to me if I can be of any assistance in helping you to implement Split to Save in your workplace and make a difference in your employees' financial lives. And we really thank you all for joining us today. It was great to have you, and we'll be back in touch.
Awesome. Thanks. And everyone have a great weekend.
You too. Bye, everybody.